Polynomials. So, polynomials are just expressions with one or more terms that are being added together. So, poly just meaning many. So, if we're looking at the degree of a polynomial, that is taken from its highest power. So, number one here, we've got x squared plus 4x plus 3. Its highest power here is taken from x squared. So, the polynomial degree is 2. Number two, the highest power is going to be the polynomial degree, and that's x to the power of 5, so the polynomial degree is 5. So we're going to be looking at the value of a polynomial. Oops, what is it? So we can use something called synthetic division, which gives us a quick way of evaluating functions. So just let's have a wee look back at how we used to, or how we still do, look at evaluating functions. So all we have to do is substitute this 3 into the function x squared plus 4x take 3. So that would be 3 squared plus 4 times 3 take 3. So that would be 9 plus your 12 take 3, which indeed would give you 18. Okay. Now we can use something called synthetic division that I mentioned before, and we're going to be looking at the coefficients of each term. So the highest degree of the polynomial is x squared. So we'll have x squared, and then it's x to the power of 1. And then x to the power of 0 is just your constant term, because we know x to the power of 0 is just equal to 1. So that's just your constant. Now, the number we put here at the side is what we are going to be substituting into our polynomial. So, underneath our x squared and x to the power of 0, we're going to put the coefficients. So, the coefficient of x squared here is 1, so that's going to be 1. Coefficient of x is positive 4 there. And your constant is negative 3. So, what we're going to do is when we're coming down the way, we're adding our terms. So we're looking at 1, and just underneath the arrow, there's nothing there. So 1 plus 0 is just 1. To get this value in here, we're going to multiply by this value that we have here. So that's going to be 1 times 3 gives us 3. And then coming down the way, we add. So 4 plus 3 is 7. And then we're going to multiply again by 3, gives me 21. Coming down the way, we're going to add. Negative 3 plus 21 gives you 18. And that's your final answer, which ties into exactly what we got in our first method. So I'm going to do another example with you. So I'm saying find the value of x cubed plus 2x squared plus 4x plus 5 when x is equal to 2. So I've got my synthetic division laid out there, and the value we're going to be substituting in is going to be x is equal to 2, and that's going to go there. We now need our coefficients for x cubed, x squared, x to the 1, and our constant term. So coefficient of x cubed is 1, coefficient of x squared is 2, coefficient of x is 4, and your constant term is 5. So we bring our first value down. There's nothing there, so it's 1 plus 0 is 1. We're then going to multiply by this value here, which is 2. 1 times 2 is 2. We're then going to bring it down again and add these two things. 2 plus 2 is 4. Multiply that by 2. 4 times 2 is 8. Add them together. 4 plus 8 is 12. And again, multiply that by 2. 12 times 2, 24. Add them together. 5 plus 24 is indeed 29. So I'm going to give you two examples to try yourself. Question 1, I want you to find f of 2 when you've got 5x cubed, take 8x squared, take 2x plus 11. And then I want you to find f of negative 1 when your function is 3x to the power of 4 plus 2x squared, take x plus 7. Now, I just want you to make sure that when you're creating your synthetic division, Your highest power there is going to be x to the power of 4. You then have to show each power going down by 1. So you have to show x to the power of 3, x to the power of 2, x to the power of 1, x to the power of 0, even if you don't have a value for anything there. Okay, so if you hit pause, and then once you're ready, hit play, and we'll go through the answers. Okay, welcome back, guys. So we're finding, question 1, find f of 2 when f of x is given by that function. So your synthetic division, hopefully you had 5, -8, -2, and 11. And you're saying evaluate it when x is equal to 2. So you put in the value of 2 in there. Bring your 5 straight down. 5 plus 0 is 5. Times 2 gives you 10. Add them together, gives you 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Add your -2 plus 4 is 2. Multiply by 2 is 4. Add them together and you will get your final answer of 15. The second example you were given, you have to evaluate when x is equal to -1. So that's your value that you're putting in there, -1. So your coefficient of x to the power of 4 is 3. We don't have any x cubes, so you put in 0. The coefficient of x squared is 2. Coefficient of x is -1. And your constant is 7. So you're bringing your 3 down because it's just 3 plus 0 is 3. Multiply that by -1 to get -3. Add 0 plus -3 is -3. -3 times -1, +3. Adding your 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 times -1 is -5. Adding them together is -6. Multiply that by -1 is +6. Add them together and your final answer is 13. Sorry. Hold on. Okay, so I'm back. That was the phone. Sorry about that, guys. So this is from your first example in your notes. So if you want to get your notes out, you can fill this out as we are doing it together. So there's your synthetic division. You're saying given that f of x is equal to that function, evaluate the function when x is equal to -2 using our synthetic division. Okay, so every single time I personally would put x cubed and then just work my way down until I get to x to the power of 0. It means you're never going to miss anything out. So your coefficient of x cubed is 1, coefficient of x squared is 1, coefficient of x is -22, and then your constant is -40. And in here we know that x is equal to -2. So that's the value that you're going to substitute into your function. So you're going to bring the 1 down. 1 plus 0 is 1. You're then going to multiply 1 by -2, which is -2. Adding them together, 1 plus -2 is -1. Multiplied by -2 is 2. Adding them together is -20. Multiplied by -2 is +40. And then that gives you a value of 0. Now, we have put in x is equal to -2. That also tells us that x equals -2 is a root, because this here is actually shows you a remainder when you're using your synthetic division. So your remainder here, as you can see, is equal to 0, which means x equals -2 is a root. Okay. Now, thinking about what we've just been doing with our quadratics, if you take everything over to the left-hand side, that would be x plus 2 equals 0, which means x plus 2 is a factor of that polynomial. Okay, so that's just taking it slightly further than I probably needed to, but that will be in the next section. So what I want you now to do, I know that's taking maybe 10 minutes, can you then try your polynomials? So I'll upload the document for polynomials into the groups, the teams, sorry. It'll be exercise R1 and just question 1. Keep an eye out. I'm going to now upload another video to do more synthetic division for tomorrow. Okay, Thank you. No jokes.